Hello class, today is Friday, May 8th, and this is the lesson for math. You'll be completing the Chapter 12 math test. For today's lesson, you will need your math workbook pages 717 through 720, a pencil and crayons, as well as your bag of mixed colored shapes. Make sure that you have all of those items gathered, and then go ahead and let's begin our test. We're here on page 717, and it's time for us to begin our test. Please go ahead and start by putting your name right up here on the line next to where it says name. And once you're finished with that, let's go ahead and move on to number 1. For number 1, our friend Ling was separating, categorizing shapes according to color. And she had this shape right here. Can you mark an X on the group that shape should be categorized in? Mark an X on the group that it should be categorized in. This shape right here, that blue circle, which group should that shape be categorized in? Mark an X on the group. All right. Now let's move down to number 2. All right, in number 2, we have a group of shapes, okay, right here. Those are our shapes. All right, and then next to that, we have an empty box right here. It's our empty box. I want you to draw a shape in that box that belongs in this category. Can you draw a shape for me that would belong in that category? Draw a shape in that box that belongs in that category with those shapes. All right, we're going to move to number 3. If you need to, go ahead and pause the video and start up when you're ready to go on to number 3. All right, for number 3, look at the shape at the beginning of the row. Okay, then I want you to mark under each category that shape can belong to. Okay, if it can belong in this group, then you'll mark in that bubble. If it can belong in this group, then you can mark on that bubble. And if it can belong in this group, mark in that bubble. All right, mark under all the categories that this shape can belong to. Once you're done with that, go ahead and flip to the back page or the back of this page, and we'll go ahead and get ready with number 4. Now you should be on page 718, and we're looking up here at number 4. For number 4, I would like you to look at all of those shapes right there outside of the box. Then I would like for you to draw and color a shape inside the box that can belong in that category. Okay, look at those shapes. Think of another one that can belong in that same category and draw it over here inside the box. Okay. Number 5, I know you're going to need to pause and then come back to number 5. Okay. Number 5, take a look at all the shapes here. All right, I want you to mark an X on all of the big shapes. All right, this word big. Mark an X on all of the big shapes. Then count them, and right next to the word big, write how many big shapes there are. Then go back and circle all of the small shapes that you see here. and then count them and write how many small shapes you see. All right, now we're on to number 6. Pause the video if you need to finish number 5 before you proceed into number 6. And what I want you to do for number 6 is we have 2 groups here, okay? And they have sorted or classified their shapes into big and small. Whoops. Big and small. All right, I want you to look at each of the groups. Now, is every shape in this side big and this side small? Same over here. Is everyone big on this side and every shape small on that side? Look at both of your categories. Make sure that they are correct and fill the circle underneath the box that shows the categories that have them correctly categorized, okay? Which one shows the shapes categorized correctly? All right, bubble underneath that correct one. When you're finished, turn back to the page 2 and we'll be on number 7. Here we are now on page 719, and we're at the top looking at number 7, where you see some triangles and circles and a graph. And for this activity, what you're going to do is you're going to take these shapes up here, the triangles and circles, and you're going to sort and classify them by shape and put them into the graph, okay? So you need to draw and color all those shapes at the top into your graph. So you're going to draw those shapes that you see at the top. Circles, red triangles and blue circles, draw them into your graph and then count how many of each shape there are and write that number down below next to the shape. Okay, so first you're going to draw the shapes that you see at the top into your graph and then write how much each shape has in the graph down below. Right, then we'll get to number 8 is next. And for this one, we have blue circles and blue squares. And our friend John was separating his blue circles and squares and classifying them by shape, okay, because they're both the same color, so he's not separating them by color, just by shape here. But he was trying to find out which shape he has more of. Can you mark an X on the category that has more? That's all you're going to do for number 8 here. Mark an X on the category that has more. Right, when you're finished, go ahead and flip over to the last page and we'll get started with number 9. Now here we are on page 720, which is the final page of our test. And we're going to go ahead and start up here at number 9. And for number 9, we have chart A, which has a graph that already has some objects sorted, okay? And what they're asking is they want to find out, how is this graph sorted for us? How are these objects classified? Okay, and we're going to answer either yes or no for 3 different things. Okay, first they want to know, is it sorted by color? Is this graph sorted by color? If yes, circle in that, color that bubble. If no, color that bubble. All right, the next one they want to know, is this graph sorted by size? Did they sort those shapes by size? Yes or no. fill in your bubble. Remember to make sure that you're filling in either the yes or no that is next to the word size, okay? Don't go down to where the shape is or up to where the color is. All right, and the last one that they're asking, the last category, is shape. Did they sort those shapes by shape? Did they sort the shapes by shape? That's kind of hard to say. Did they sort the shapes by shape? Yes or no? Fill in your answer there. And then once you're finished, let's go on to number 10. And for number 10, we have 4 different boxes, and each of them are labeled with a different shape. We have triangle, rectangle, circle, and square. And you can tell what each word says because that's the shape that's in each box, right? Okay, what you need to do is, underneath each box is a circle, a bubble for us to color in for our answers, okay? And you can pick more than one here also, all right? What I want you to do is count the shapes in each of the boxes. And I want you to color in the bubble underneath the boxes that have the same number of shapes, okay? So count the boxes and see how many shapes each box has. All right, and if they have the same number of shapes in the box, color the bubble underneath that box, okay? Happy counting. Once you're done with that, you're all finished with your math quiz, and I will see you later. Make sure that you finish with your other assignments. If you're finished with those, then you are done with your assignments. Have a great weekend, and then I will see you back on Monday.